Well, we're going to start it off like that then. Well, guess what? Mitch Robinson, if you're watching, I just have to say, that intro, Aaron, as he just said, it's one of the most recognizable things about this show.
It gets my approval, 100%.
Yeah, honestly, like, Mitch made that for free,
Right.
and it took something like 5, 6, 7 hours to render and make it and do this and do that. And when he presented it to me, I was like, yeah, let's do that. That's the intro. Let's make that happen. And so we've been running it for like 4 years now, 3-4 years.
Very nice.
Such an amazing intro, and I thank him so much. What a great guy, honestly. But I think I'm losing my voice, but let's get into it. So up to episode 275 of the Infra-Red podcast. We have the lovely Aaron McNamara coming on, who's been in the scene for how long? Like I've had you on the podcast multiple times. I've been on the radio with you. Like,
that's right.
It's been incredible.
It has, mate. To be honest, my love, like, obviously I've loved music and that since I was, a teenager. But yeah, in terms of Perth, it's probably longer now than what I realised. It feels like it's been just really quick.
Yeah.
Because I started to meet people in the duff scene, and I had toyed with the idea of getting back into DJing, but I never actually found a space where I thought my kind of music would suit. The clubs, not really. It was all kind of tech house and stuff. And then, kind of just went from there. Started playing duffs and played at some some pretty remarkable duffs, and there was videos shared of those. Yeah. And during COVID, I got to go over to play interstate, a couple of gigs off the back of some of these.
Whereabouts did you play interstate again?
My first one was at a club called Sub Rosa, which doesn't exist anymore, I don't think. That was really, really cool. There's a big brand called Eden who used to put nights on there, and they kind of saw an opportunity to get me over there because it was COVID. There wasn't much going on, and that video, one of mine that got shared, it got shared around the Queensland duffing pages and stuff as well, because nobody could have any duffs anywhere because of COVID, and it was all lockdown. But in WA, we got away with it, and that's actually probably when I was busiest was during COVID.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, because that underground scene. Whereas, as the older I got, I started to move more into like the club scene, should we say? Because duffs are quite a big commitment and stuff, and I started to get more club gigs.
It's really surprising how big bush duffs are.
Yeah,
like they're everywhere, and they happen all the time if you know the right people.
Yeah, they are. They're big. They are, and there's a lot of them. But the network of people throughout Australia that put duffs on, the bigger ones, and a lot of the time they communicate with each other, and some of their DJs might come over and play as guests and stuff at other duffs. And the actual duff scene is like pretty connected, and some places have got their own really tiny little scene where the sound systems aren't huge. They might not even charge people.
That's it, right?
Overall.
It's just like come party in the bush.
Yeah, and then you got the other end of it, which is what we've seen here in WA and other parts of Australia, like huge festival style duffs that are like, if I'm being completely honest, the duff scene spoiled me because I was listening to the best music on the best sound systems that we have in this state, that I've heard anyway, and then I'd go to a lot of the clubs, and the sound quality in the clubs would be nowhere near as good as what it is out in the duffs, which is weird because you would think like a guerrilla operation like a duff, they wouldn't be able to afford that. But
like $100,000 sound system.
All they care about is the vibe and the sound. Yeah, that's all they care about. You do not get into duffs to make money. If you make money, great. A lot of the time, these guys are probably breaking even, or losing money. This is the reality. But they love it, and the main sound quality is paramount to these guys.
Well, that's it, and it's just such a community and such a culture, right? And it's so big here in WA.
Yeah.
I think I've seen something recently. I'll have to try and find it, but I found something where it's like the police are now starting to crack down a little bit more on them. Oh, yeah. I don't think they can stop them, but I think it's more over east rather than here.
People thought I was a cop a lot when I first started.
People thought you were a cop.
Oh yeah. The way
I can see that.
I totally get it now. But when I went out to the duffs at first, I didn't know anyone, so I was just kind of finding them on Facebook and going. Yeah. I went on my own to a couple of them, and I dress the same as if I was going out on a night out in Northbridge. So at Duff's, they wear pajamas, they wear like loose clothes, and there's this dude coming in. I realised why they thought I was a cop or just a. I remember.
That's it. You're just like fitting in, and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna wear normal stuff. Like,
no, I remember once. I remember once walking past one of like a car and catching my reflection.
Yeah. Catching your, and seeing
seeing my reflection against all these other people at the Diffs, and I was like, I really look fucking out of place here. I better put some baggy clothes on.
So
which didn't really happen.
No. No, so you just stuck around. Okay.
No, well, the baggy clothes thing didn't happen. But
no, that's fair. But do you wear the clothes now? Like
oh, look, the clothes didn't get. They got tighter, if anything.
Yeah, no.
Because all the lads started wearing like leggings, these Duff leggings and that. There's some great outfits out there.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. People get creative.
Exercise. Yeah. It is a good exercise in learning how to not take yourself seriously. If you can wear like
cop outfit. If you can go to a bush
you can wear a pink
and you can rap
and go and fill up your car and get petrol.
Yeah.
You're all good.
That's it. Or go to a bush dwarf dressed like a cop.
yeah.
And see the looks you get.
Oh, that's true, actually. Yeah.
oh yeah. But yeah, so you've come on, by the way. So you've just released an EP, right?
Yes.
But EP album, like how much music have you released again? Let's pull it all up.
Not very much. Not very much. But it's happened. The short amount that I have released has been. In a short space of time, to even that I thought I would be possible, I've got quite a lot of music now that I'm really looking forward to sending to labels.
Yeah.
And this time, what are we now? This time last year, I was still more or less...
Is this No, this isn't your page here, no.
Not me.
Is it under Aaron M?
It's Aaron M.
Yep.
Yeah, but started really getting into Ableton and spending time in the studio, a lot of really late nights, because that's my brain works. When I get a flow on, I stay up. The hours just go, but that's when I get the most in.
Yeah.
I'm not amazing at doing like an hour every day. But
that's fair though.
The first couple of tracks, so I've got 2 EPs out now on the same label. One was released in November. Tracks called Drop and Roll and Staunch, and those were the first actual 2 tracks that I arranged and made myself, and I sent them off, and really surprised.
So, are you saying like before, like you kind of like got guidance in a way of like how to structure in a way?
No, because I'd never actually, because I had Ableton for a very long time.
Because
I
would need that.
Started to do, I was basically, I kind of went. I would recommend probably, unless you're a nerd like me, I got some hardware to try and learn how to make the basic techno sounds that I like.
From there, like hands-on.
Basically like a synthesizer.
Oh, really? Okay.
A couple of synthesizers.
What will they call it? I'll pull them up.
One of them is a clone of a really popular one called a TB303. That's like that's a 303 that existed back in, I'm gonna say late 70s. Along with
dude, that's cool.
Drum
that's
machines,
really
like
cool.
The Roland, it's from the same brand, Roland, and that was called the TR909. And what I've got is a clone of the 303, and they also do really good clones of all of these old synthesizers. You know, like that 909 that you can see there.
Yeah.
Phil Collins used that.
That's what I mean. This is real
master.
Music. This is not.
That's what inspires my music. Is Phil.
Yeah. No, that's it. It's not mouse and keyboard music. This is actually like feeding the sample into it and then playing around with it. Right?
What I was doing, which isn't the most productive, but it's quite enjoyable, is just basically live jamming on this thing. But the thing with that is when you start to enjoy that, you start to enjoy just not recording it and just being free flowing. So I didn't actually I had to actually I need to make some decisions and actually arrange this track. And to do that, I had to sort of stop that flow of things and actually make decisions. And when I started, the tracks came together pretty quick after that. But depending what way your brain works, mine's quite mysterious. But
is that
even
right?
to myself, so no one else has got any chance. But yeah, it's been enjoyable.
That's incredible though, because like, how long has it to make this EP? So how many tracks are on the EP to start off with?
So the EP can have any amount of tracks. So that both of mine have got two
tracks each.
Yeah, and they're basically these are these tracks are kind of in DJ. I've got the DJ in the mind because I'm a DJ myself. I know the way that I like tracks to be and the kind of nice and quite easy to mix and with a nice build-ups and stuff like that. Because that's quite important sometimes, you know. You can have the best
100%.
track in the world, but if you have to manipulate it too much to get the sound out of it, whereas these are like dance floor ready tracks, I would say.
Well, because there's no copyright in them, I'm going to play them in the background whilst we chat over it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I have to sign in, hit by a roadblock. But no, that's incredible.
Oh, but yeah, it's like another thing that's been really enjoyable about it is some of the friendships that I've made through this, because I've had to actually remove myself from the DJ scene and bookings and that kind of stuff.
Why? Really? Why?
Yeah, because I would not have been able to make those tracks if I was still DJing. No way. I don't like, because I put quite a lot of effort into my sets. I practice quite a lot, and I've got like, I don't have that time, because that time I now really want.
Oh,
That's
let me bring the volume down a bit.
it's drop and roll. Yeah,
Hell
but
yeah. Yeah, keep going.
I forget what I was going to say now.
No, that's fair.
Something about making music, but God knows.
No, so like the way you've structured it, the way you put it together, and then like having it, making it so it's got a bit of a heart and soul to it, and then like
Yeah, basically these tracks are an example of the kind of sound, if it was available to buy, that I've always just wanted to play. There's sort of like this kind of fusion of like techno and trance, which really works really well for me because I came from a trance background, and then a lot of my favourite trance DJs were playing a lot of techno, and then it got to the stage where I was playing more techno in my sets than I was trance. But these tracks are basically...
Is that allowed to play more techno in a trance
it's
set?
more than allowed.
Oh,
it's
okay.
it's beneficial for everyone. But it's like you've got techno, and you've got techno that's, you know, when you start making music, all these subgenres start to make sense, because you realise what these genres are about. And for me, techno is quite organic. So, you know, like a lot of house is structured in such a way with certain drops in certain places, and having certain
Dude, this
chords.
is nice.
Yeah, this is a bit of a roller.
Yeah.
That's why it's called drop and roll. But
Yeah, this is good.
this track in particular is my take on a lot of that type of techno that I used to listen to back then. It went with trance really, really well. It was around the same speed, something like that. And it kind of like, if you've got a lot of trance and stuff happening, where a track like this can help drop things back into something a little bit more groovy, because it's important, like for me anyway, I like to not lose the groove for too long.
No, that makes sense. Yeah,
You can go a bit harder in certain places and take them on a bit of a journey, but I think that you need to maintain that groove, because it keeps girls and guys both dancing on the dance floor. You know, if things get too hard and too gritty, I find a lot of girls, some girls love all that stuff, but some don't love that. So, you know.
It's funny how you put it like that, because that is like, you know, with techno, like I've always found it that I absolutely love it when it's just like fast and it keeps moving, and it's not 64 bars of the same beat in a way, but it is, but it's not like the intro.
Yeah.
Because you know how when like you can get techno and it's really stripped back, and it's just like, it's almost like it's still groovy, it's still punchy, but it's like it could have had way more elements added to it.
Oh yeah.
But it's like with this, I see exactly what you mean. It's like you keep it moving it.
Well,
Yeah.
I've actually I've got vinyls back home. They don't really make them as much anymore, but there were like whole tracks could be just a loop that just kept going. And a lot of techno guys used to play that stuff because they used to kind of just make their own little breakdowns and use the filters and stuff like that, and kind of freeform it a little bit. They'd be mixing through these tracks a lot quicker. And then some of these techno DJs, like Carl Cox, he was mixing on up to 4 turntables at a time, and he would use these loops. They're not doing much, but it's there in the background for him to cut in and out. You know, he's not doing any crazy stuff with it, but even keeping all those beat matched
Yeah, would be one hell of a feat.
I played a vinyl set in Geisha not that long ago, and I tell you what, like, it's even playing in a club environment like Geisha, like a boiler room. It is, and I practiced a lot because I hadn't played vinyl for years, so I practiced a lot on other people's vinyls. Paul Larkin, if you're out there, mate, thank you. I've still got your records, wicked records. I'm not trying to nick them, I swear. But I practiced with those, and it was nerve-wracking. Even keeping two in a nightclub, which nightclubs are not geared up for vinyl anymore because people were knocking the stage, and it was skipping the vinyl. And a lot of really young people, I think, might be like weirded out to see a vinyl record playing. Actually, in a
possibly,
club.
yeah.
Like, what is that? And some people were trying to like. I feel like they were trying to like press buttons on the record or something because they thought it was like a digital thing. But it's like, maybe if you're 18, you might not really know what a vinyl is.
Well, that's it. And that's why everything is actually changing.
In reality, though.
Yeah, like vinyl will become obsolete. It's still there, but it is like...
Vinyl's the one that will actually become more popular. But it will be more sought after and harder to get. But to get good quality vinyl, and people obviously you can still press vinyl, but I know a lot of my friend Davey Byrne. He's another really good DJ here in Perth. He collects a huge amount of vinyl. He loves his DJing, great DJ, digital, like plays on CDJs and stuff. But he just loves the feel of vinyl records and digging through records and finding little gems,
Well, that's it. Like. I never really got to experience that, but I can imagine just the feeling of like searching through those sleeves and trying to find something. You're like, oh my god,
yeah,
like I can't wait to play this out. This would be epic. But it's just it's a forgotten thing now, and it sucks a bit because it's like you got movies like not Trainspotting, but like what's the other movie that was close to Trainspotting around the same era, and it was like about records?
Oh, Human Traffic.
Human Traffic. Yeah, exactly. Just like out of Human Traffic, and it's like the culture.
Oh yeah, you're
behind
right.
that.
Go into the vinyl shop. You could be there for hours.
Yeah.
Because the lads would be playing vinyl. There was a really good record shop in. It's called Casual Sounds in Dunstable, where one place where I grew up. And then when I moved to Ireland, there was I forget the name of it now, but there were awesome dudes in there, and there was one of the best DJs in town who actually worked there. Yeah. And it was just cool to chat to these people when they...
That's it, yeah. Like, everyone enjoyed music. Everyone was there for the music. Everyone was there to hang out. Yep. And there's, like, just so much art on the walls. And, like, it was just... Everyone probably, tripped a bit as well. It's
nowadays to think about what we had to do, because when there wasn't much internet and stuff really. There was a little bit, but like it was basic, and the information about this music. So when you're green and you're deciding to get into dance music or collecting music on vinyl, you're going in blind, and you've got to physically to listen to these things. You can't just click a button, and you've got to physically take them to the thing, listen to them, and a lot of the time you're like, fuck.
Yeah, that's it.
I feel bad. I've been for ages listening to your music and I haven't bought anything. And sometimes you just used to like guilt buy. I'm like, I'll buy this. I love it. And then when you got it home, it's like, then you like
that's it. Well, so tell us about Staunch then. So this is the second track on the EP that's playing right now. This is bouncy.
Yeah, Staunch is...
this is groovy.
Is like I say, this is actually, for me personally, if people were to ask me what I think when I think of techno, this is basically my explanation of it, because really what techno is about, and which is handy for me because I don't know anything. I've got no music background in terms of theory and stuff, and still now when I'm making chords and melodies, for starters, I'm not really doing too many big chords, because the type of techno that I make is not fully about chords and stuff. It's more about very, very basic sounds, manipulating and distorting them and adding saturation to get these harmonics, so that you can actually create something pretty musical without having any. If you're that way inclined, if you can manipulate these synthesizers, which are so many tutorials about. You can actually not be great with music theory, but make these sounds amazing. That's perfect for techno, because that's, for me, what techno is all about. For me, if there's a big, huge breakdown and like big chord progressions and stuff in the middle of a techno track, to me, you're not making it. I wouldn't feel like I'm making techno, because that's just not what I think that is. It could be some other subgenre or whatever, but it's, techno is actually very random.
Well, see, that's it. Mitch told me once upon a time that techno is very random, but I see structure to it. I've always seen structure to techno.
It's like saying, it's like someone saying, look, mate, this is what coffee is about. You don't know what coffee is about.
Well,
I know what coffee is about. And
no,
it's
you
like,
are right in that
it's all
regard.
like, okay, that's what your idea of that is. Awesome. Good for you.
Yeah. No, that's it. Like I completely agree with that, because that's where it's like it's just like, say, Flume is Flume because Flume makes Flume music, right?
Yeah.
And then so like, say, drum and bass, Sub Focus makes Sub Focus music,
Yep.
and it is its own sound, its own unique thing. But I find with techno, that's where it gets interesting, because it's like, this is your sound. It's bouncy, it's groovy. I can kind of like, in a way, I can see it's like hints of, say, like Boris Brejcha, but like sped up.
Yeah.
In a way, kind of.
Yep.
But I don't know much like about, because like I listen to a lot of dark techno.
Yep.
But with dark techno, that's like not so much Gesaffelstein stuff, but that's I'd have to new techno. That's like Werewolf Disco Club, Disco Inferno, One, Cross, Children, Power of Thought.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. It's just a whole bunch of random stuff. But I find that with techno, that it's like, music still has the 32 bars. It still has the 64 bars. It still has 128. It's like you have that structure of an intro. You have that structure of like the breakdown or the drop or there's Sass. Wait, I'll pull him up on the camera.
That's the coolest cat. I've got a cat a little bit more ginger than that and a little bit more sassy.
Yeah. Than the actual Sass cat.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where like, yeah, because we should talk about this, where it's like, I find that with techno, it's like, it takes you on a journey, but I don't see the randomness in it.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Because it's always following, like, you know, you can't have you can't have a drop and then a breakdown. You can't have a breakdown, then a drop.
So, yeah, well, that's the thing. Look, I would say that, look, for my idea of like a techno purist would disagree and say that it's the free forming, and there's some very weird beat arrangements and breakdowns and stuff that happen in a lot of this, I don't know what you call it, it's just like proper techno. Like the people here in Perth, like Andy Knox, Dave Singh, Motek, these people, they pioneer that sound, that very raw techno sound, which a lot of people, because techno's moved on, they might not even recognise that as, if new people was like, nah, that's not techno, that's some weird fucking genre. I was like, yeah, that's techno. But like, basically what we see now, and to a certain extent the type of music that I make, for sure, is basically techno. I don't know what you call it. Maybe it's called learner techno. I don't know, but it's like, it maintains a lot of the origins of the energy around music that I like, which is trance. So, you know, the kick drums are quite tight, punchy, little arpeggiated bass lines, and you know, it has that kind of trancey energy with, and then when you couple that with kind of some rolling percussion, and you know, a bit of filtering here and there, it becomes something quite different, which is like the thing that I get most excited about. There's times when I'm out and I've listened to what I was hearing, and then I thought to myself, I'm gonna fucking go home and make some music. And I've left the fucking place I was out and I went home to make some music, because it's just really satisfying when you learn how to kind of, you'll still fumble a bit, I still do, but
well, it's all
you
part
get
of
an idea how to put these ideas from your head, and I'm still massively learning. Like, if someone said to me, I would like you to make me a track that sounds like this, I wouldn't be able to do it, because I'd
be the same.
But a lot of these accidents happen.
But it's all the practice behind it, though, right? And it's like, it's learning the program or whatever you're using. I mean, like, for you to be able to be using these synthesizers, that's incredible.
Well, if anyone's come to
so
the radio
cool.
and seen me typing, that you know straight away that I am like not designed for the keyboard. Like,
Yeah, because I've seen you like lurking over
not the
it.
musical keyboard, neither the technical one. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm designed for the like a club and a bloody. I mean like a wooden club,
A wooden
not a
club.
nightclub. You know, like some caveman thing.
Yeah, but like,
Maybe that's what the cavemen listen to. I don't know.
well, so then how hard was it to learn this thing? Because it just looks incredible. I wish I could play the audio for it, but I don't know if I will get copyright for it.
Which? Oh, the 303.
Yeah, the 303.
So the good thing about this, right? So basically, for anyone who's getting into dance music and producing dance music and looks at the 303 or something like that, like I know there's a lot of people here that are experts in, but for the people that aren't, that thing might look really difficult to master.
Yeah.
And the part of the charm about that particular synthesizer is the step sequencer at the bottom. Now, that is for me personally. The techno purists out there, they're gonna say that I'm fake or whatever, and I really don't care. I don't have the patience to learn that fucking thing.
No, that's fair. It's complicated.
But the actual synthesizer you can use, and you can have that mapped into Ableton, so you can play keys in Ableton, and you can sequence it within this software, but still maintain the analog sound that's coming from this machine. So
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so you've MIDI'd it in basically.
Yeah, but the good thing about this is if you can get the sounds that you like to come out of this thing, every this synthesizer is called a mono synth, so it only has one oscillator, which means that the sound is coming from one generation. Other synthesizers have, some of them, infinite amounts of stuff, but if you know how to get the sound that you want coming out of this thing, which is not that difficult, then technically, if you want to expand on that, you just expand on it. It all works from left to right. You have oscillator and have a filter.
Yeah.
And then you have an amplifier, and basically they all work in that sequence. And it's pretty cool. It's like, it looks like, when I first heard these terms, I didn't know what they're all about, but it doesn't take you that long to actually get the hang of it.
Okay, then. So what's an envelope?
An envelope is basically...
I always get lost with this term.
It is basically the shape that everything that you're doing to the sound, what it kind of gets contained in.
Yeah.
You can also manipulate that envelope as well. Basically, it's the envelope will kind of has a peak to it. There's all different types of envelopes, and but
let's just feed it into Chat GPT. And this bloody mouse, I'm using a broken mouse.
Yeah, well, basically, like what an oscillator is.
Is
they say it's like if you can imagine like a bloke, it doesn't have to be a bloke, any person, but just something shouting as loud as it possibly can.
Yeah.
Like just letting it out. Then that's the initial sound that comes out of the oscillator, and then you filter the sound out. But when you filter the sound out, that will drop the volume of that sound, and then there's an amplifier which will boost that, and along with the amplifier then you can add distortion, that kind of stuff. And
damn, that's hectic.
Yeah. There's actually more little controls on it than that, like but once you understand those ones, that kind of like framework works for a lot of stuff. But yeah, don't want to bore people.
No. It's so intricate, but it's so interesting though, because it's so complicated. And when you really break it down, it is just electrical sounds. It's like, I know it sounds electrical sounds, but it's like it is just an input of power that is being modulated to create. If I can get some audio to play, create. Mate, do a sound. Oh God! But yeah, 100%. It's
it's a baseline synthesizer. So this particular machine was like not very popular, and actually the 909, the drum machine, wasn't hugely popular back then. But it became popular when, like, the acid house movement in, I think it was like Chicago. Maybe early 80s. They started using these things. They would buy, back then you could buy them in, I'm saying I don't know, but I'm saying, you know, they say that you could have bought them in cash converters, the equivalent, for nothing. But now they're worth about $4,000.
Yeah, that's it. Synthesizers are not cheap.
But you can, like, don't be a purist at it. Like, I mean, yeah, be a purist if you've got that kind of cash, and it's $4,000 is nothing for something you might not really like that much. But there are emulators out there for all of these things, and, you know, don't get too caught up in, because if you go on a lot of these pages saying, oh, do you think I should get this? Purists on there or aficionados, they're going to say, nah, you don't want that, you want to get this. And I'm like, oh, fuck, well, that person might not be able to afford that for a long time.
Yeah.
And I suggest you get the cheapest thing that does the job that you want, and use it as, like, rather than...
That makes sense. I mean, like, look how much do you reckon this thing looks like it costs at least $15,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's it. And it's like, it's so expensive.
But or you could just buy Ableton, or you could buy Logic Pro, or Pro Tools,
or FL Studio,
FL
whatever.
Studio. You could just buy that, right, and have a good laptop, a decent, or preferably a computer or something. And I think people underestimate the power, like that. What is inside these programs? If you were to lay all of that out in hardware terms, it'd be there's an infinite amount of channels. There's an infinite amount of stuff you can do to a sound, manipulate it.
But see, I look at this and I go, what the hell do I do with this?
Oh, yeah.
It's been a long time since I played with something like that.
I had to reframe it was...
Yeah.
How, rather than, look at that, because it looks quite basic, Abel, and it little dials and stuff. Some of the plugins that you could buy, the external stuff you put into it, could be pretty cool, but the actual Ableton is... But now I like it that it's like that, because I recognise everything. And I had to switch my brain to think, this is awesome how much there is to learn.
Yeah.
Rather than like, there's too much to learn. Because being 100% honest, my plan was not to release any fucking tracks on any labels, because I thought, I was always told, you'll be at least 4 or 5 years, you know, that's
well, that's it. I've always been told the same thing. It's like production isn't just like an overnight thing. You got to really dedicate time, effort. You got to improve. You got to learn your craft. Yeah. But at the same time, it's a situation of like, you know, it's being interested in it. You have to be able to sit there. Like, this thing probably costs, as I said, 10, 15 grand. But unless you go, I'm going to dedicate at least 200 hours to this thing.
Yeah.
What's the point of buying it? And yeah, you're right. Buying the entry level probably is a way better, but it is still a situation of like, you got to do your research, listen to others, take reviews in, figure out what works for you. And then my roommate said this the other day, before, like last week, and it's very interesting the way he said it. Right, music is music. Like, you don't have to make drum and bass. You can just make music.
Yeah. You
can just sit there on this keyboard and just play with these sounds. And then throw a drum thing over it, and it could be whatever. The last guest we had on last week this Monday actually, with Gene. You know, Gene was saying, we were talking about Justice, and we were talking about old school electronic music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Justice band, which is an electronic band.
Yeah, I remember.
It's like everything's become laptops now, but then having actual like live music to be able to make your own genre, your own sound. You know, a band is so unique. I mean, they can fall into a genre of rock and roll or metal or whatever, but then you can have people that just make their own thing in a way, right? Like the Flumes in a way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, there are producers out there. I know there's a guy called D Ramirez, who is one of my favourite producers, and he doesn't play the music I like, but...
How do you spell his name, sorry?
D Ramirez. D... Just the letter D and then Ramirez. But he is a guy that has produced music for years. Really, it would be a way more productive for him to be able to just make it all on the laptop. But he's he only uses them sparingly in his tracks, but he's got so many old school synthesizers there, and he does that because. I know that you guys don't necessarily know this was done with this synth, but I do, which changes the whole vibe of why I'm making the tune and why I love it. And I think anyway, like I've noticed when I haven't played that many gigs since I started making music. One of them in particular, I was playing in Frio, no, not Frio Social, Port Beach Brewery for Techno on New Year's Day. And
big shout out to Techno.
yeah, huge shout out to Techno.
Gotta promote them.
Yeah, to Kate and Lee, legends. But yeah, it changed. The vibe was very different at playing my own tracks and seeing the reaction to those. It was really that was. So the intention behind the music does change, I believe, how the audience how it gets received on some level. Do you know what I mean? If you're putting good intention into it, so it's only. You know what I mean? It might sound shit, but my intentions were good.
What
is that you're eating there?
Rob.
Ah, fantastic.
You want a butter snap cookie?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Sorry.
No,
I haven't eaten anything at all really today.
Mate,
but
get it into you. I'll waffle. What do you want me to waffle about so that you can have some food? Don't get me started.
So big shout out to Techno.
Huge shout out to Techno.
So they got Space 92 coming.
Yep.
And he is coming on the 28th of February. Definitely got to check it out. It'll be worth it. It'll be so worth it.
That particular gig has also got a whole host of very, very good locals. I'm pretty sure you've got Dale, who's going to be playing, and J Dream.
Yep, big shout out to J Dream as well.
Hope I get his name right. GVTS. He's playing a live set, live actual analog stuff, not a DJ set. I met him the other night actually, at Restless. Big shout out to you, man. Big shout out to Restless crew as well, Zach.
Yep.
But I talked to this guy, and I kind of seen him. He's got dreads and he's a really cool looking dude, and he's going to be playing for Techno, a proper live techno set.
Hell yeah, a proper live techno.
Live analog equipment.
Okay.
Yeah, drum machines, stuff like.
That's incredible to have like live techno.
Yeah, he's playing there on the 25th of Feb. I'm pretty sure, isn't it?
Yeah, 28th of
28th,
Feb.
yeah.
Yep. But yeah, definitely get live techno.
Yeah, he was out actually with a friend of his and a DJ that I've met a couple of times. Really, really good DJ. She goes by the name of Fromily. They were kind of introduced to that guy, and it's cool. It's cool. Yeah. It's cool to see the good like-minded people making connections and hanging out and stuff, because it's important to be able to grow a scene.
Well, that's it. It is so important. It really
helps to have like good contacts, connections, and everyone appreciate what everyone's doing.
Everyone just being in it for the right reasons, hanging out and having fun and enjoying each other's time and listening to cool music and just having a boogie, right?
You know what? I've come to the realization, and it's only kind of very, very recently, but there is no such thing as the wrong reason. You might think someone else's reason getting into DJing is wrong, but for them it's not the wrong reason.
That's right? It. Yeah,
Do you
you're
know
right.
what I'm saying? So,
it's the frame of mind. In a way.
So if for example someone is a purist and I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. I don't like that social media thing. I don't with this. And 100%.
We're getting deep with this.
But own that.
Yeah, you're right.
Own that. Don't be shitty about it. If someone else is just getting into DJing for the attention, a lot of people, any DJ out there, I don't care. Maybe there could be a couple out there, but we all like attention, right?
Yeah.
And I know the phase that I'm in now. I'm done with the attention. But that's a personal thing that I'm not looking for the same stuff anymore. Yeah. But I was, and I'd be lying if I said it was my main thing about it.
Well,
but it was in there, and we all get affected by it.
I know it's a bit controversial to say, but it does come down to a idea of like you get to play in front of people, and people get to enjoy your presence in a way. Recently I've been putting it in the concept of like being the jester or the entertainment at the castle in the medieval ages. Yeah. Because it's like that idea of like, in a way, being the DJ, you can get away with whatever as long as it's within the court, in a way, right?
Yes and no.
You can't go to a techno gig and play drum and bass. But if you go to a techno gig, then, you're on the lineup, you're hanging out. You can't just go and knock on Carl Cox's door. No. But you do get fruits of what's going on. So you might get some alcohol or whatever, or, and you might be able to hang out with some artists and stuff like that. But then it's like, it's such a different world to be a punter
Yeah.
than to be the person playing the graveyard set. You know?
Yeah.
You know, it's like
I've met people that don't care about what time of day it is.
well, like I'll just quickly say one of my favorite like just because it's to give it to a better meaning in a way, but like my favorite quotes is from a song called it's called Time Cop 1980 82 83, right?
Yep.
And the song is Midnight oh, I can't remember.
Did you say Time Cop?
Yeah, Time Cop.
Right.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's a neon 80s kind of synthwave band. But
I thought you were talking about
the movie.
the 1990s Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah,
Time Cop.
I'll pull it up. So, River of Darkness by Time Cop 1983. That's what it is. And so the quote is, I see 1,000 different stories faced with... I see 1,000 different stories pass with faces without names. I wonder if they'd notice if I slipped away. Now, in that quote, the way I break that down is that for us, we go and play on stage. And then, you know, I might go do a gig on the weekend at a pub, but then everyone's left, the night's over,
Yeah.
and then I just kind of go home to do my own thing.
Yeah.
But in your perspective, though, because it's all the frame of mind of DJing and music and nightlife and entertainment. But if you're playing the 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock slot, say at, you know, Magnet House or something, or a record bar or something like that, right? Then in doing that spot, that position, there's still so much more of the night left.
Yeah.
That you can still go down, and people will like come off and be like, "Oh my god, dude, it was a great set. You did amazing, the whole lot, right?" But then like I don't know, like the switch from that to being like pubs, bars, and like the other side of DJing.
Yeah.
So like you know, I just do it because I love playing music.
Yes.
But yeah, at the same time, I can't deny what you said as well. In a way, I do like the attention. But that's something I've grown over time where I'm like...
That's not exclusive to DJing.
No, it's to everything. Yeah, it can be
like,
applied to anything.
We talk about like, you know, people like, well, he's just doing that for attention or whatever, but that tone that you say it in says it that it's like a really bad thing. And
yeah.
all of us...
But it's not really, though.
You see... I'll tell you, like you'll see... Look at someone who you know who doesn't get any attention.
Yeah.
It's not good. Like, we all...
In a way, yeah.
We need attention.
We're all social
I don't
people,
mean,
yeah.
like... what do you call it?
Human beings are social creatures.
Or whatever, like, you know, because we've got a lot of that nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Which all of us, it's a part of our lives now.
Yeah.
Like, we've got an online identity. Some people don't, but a lot of people do.
They're lucky for the people that have no online identity.
Well, I've met a couple of young people recently when I've been out and chatting to people. I think it was a dude actually came.
Yeah,
on
there's
more
and more people doing it these days.
Yeah,
it's
but
good.
they're the cool people.
Yeah,
the cool people are going to be. I don't use social media. That's going to be the new cool thing because everything goes in waves. I'm not saying it's not
from the system.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they, but you know, companies that make money out of it make it very difficult for you not to be using it.
Yeah,
because there's all these groups. You know, even at the level of like, if you're not got in social media, you might still have WhatsApp.
Yeah, all
this stuff. It's very easily connected, and it's like.
Well, do you remember when Google shut off in Australia because they wouldn't pay their bill?
Right.
Yeah, this happened during COVID. It only happened for a day, and it was so funny. All that happened, right, is that you couldn't use Gmail, you couldn't use Google, you couldn't use a search engine. Everyone's businesses that were listed on Google just didn't pop up.
So there was some bloke had to go like,
yeah, basically because
switching it off.
Australia decided to say we're not going to pay the bill that we've received from Google because we don't have to. We're a government. We shouldn't have to pay that. And then Google's like, no, we're a business and we make a lot of money. And turn it off for Australia for like, I think it was like a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But it threw the whole of Australia into chaos. So in saying that though, you're right, because there are situations with social media and with these things that exist that just drag us back into it. Yeah. You know, you try and get off of it. My brother, for example, only has an Instagram account, refuses to get a Facebook account. Yeah. Can't see Facebook Marketplace. What's Gumtree?
Yeah.
You know, Gumtree doesn't exist anymore.
Actually, I've seen people that have profiles that say on them, "I'm just here for Marketplace."
Yeah.
So they don't have anything there. They're just like, they don't post anything. It's just for marketplace.
Because that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Because Gumtree really is like not that existent anymore.
Slim pickings.
Slim pickings.
Yeah.
Perfect way to put it. Look, you can buy a $185 Psycho wristwatch.
Who's posting on Gumtree?
Yeah, old people.
Yeah, true.
Remember when? I remember when Gumtree was good.
I'd say the crackheads would be onto that.
Yeah.
There's old people, naive people on Gumtree.
Yeah. But that's the thing about it. And that's where I have to say last week I had a good conversation with Gene about this as well. Where it's like with social media, you have to build like people that have their social media set on private and only have like 100 followers.
Yeah.
That's incredible. But some of us that got wrapped up in this, you know, even though I've only got 1,000 followers, it feels like a societal pressure sometimes.
I did this thing.
And like everyone gets it, right? Because like, look, you've got 1.6. I'm not far off you, but look at all the cool stuff you post though.
What cool stuff? Oh, yeah.
Promo photos. Look at this. I'm playing here. I'm playing there.
Stuff.
And you got to support the scene, right? But then how do people go to events?
I was talking to someone actually about artist development recently, and what would be required, you know, if I wanted to push this to the next kind of level. And they were taking one look at my Instagram page, and they were like, "This is just jumble, random." And you know, when you
well, that's what I mean as well. That's where you have to have like a, you know, you pull up. I can't really pull up any other business's page, but
if anyone is out there that wants to,
you got to have structure.
I will send content
social media.
and you post it and do everything, because I can't stand it. I hate it. Like there's the very odd thing when I'm excited. I've just got this track released. I didn't realise I'm going to post that now. I don't mind doing those kind of posts, but the ones that you know, when I got told, really, this is the amount you need to be posting per day, just on your DJ page, not anything else. And you know, these are, I'm not good even. I still haven't linked up properly any of my Instagram or Facebook, and it's just me left to my own devices.
Yeah,
God knows what would happen.
But that's the thing about it. It's like, for advice, do you give new DJs into the scene advice and say, okay, well, you really need to learn how to do everything social media? Do you just say to them, it's like, look, don't really worry about making the music. You need to learn how to make Facebook posts first.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I would never, ever recommend that.
No, neither. But I feel like there are some...
If someone came to me and said, listen, but their whole brief for this thing was, listen, I'm going to be honest, I don't really give a shit too much about music. I just want to be on this particular stage. How's the faster way to get there?
Yeah.
I would be able to give them advice on that.
Yeah,
but if they wanted to make music and they really had it in their soul, I would never suggest that answer, because you need to be able to accept that other people, just because they're more successful or just because they've got a better social media presence, if it kills your soul to do that stuff, you won't be able to like play a great DJ set, let alone try and make music. You won't be able to do that. You need to look. There's a lot of things I should be more grateful for in my life. I've got a lot of good stuff going on, but for some reason, I don't know why, music, the ability to share it, the ability to be able to hear it, the sets that I witnessed when I was younger that got me into this music, the gratitude I have in my soul for that is immense. And I wish, like, I could have, you know, I've not been grateful for a lot of things, but that's something that's just there. Just, it's a default. It's there because I don't know what it is about that kind of music, but and those kind of like atmospheres and stuff, they just really get me there.
Yeah, but that's the thing as well, is because you're going to the events, you're being a part of like the culture. And you know, if you go and lock yourself in your bedroom and make the music and then don't also go see your friends, it's like you get disconnected almost. I really feel like, in a way, sorry for some of the DJs that do travel the world, which would be incredible, but they're locked to like they're locked to like a hotel with their laptop in a way.
Yeah.
Because they don't know anyone. They're just like bouncing from city to city, and it'd be so exhausting catching another plane, getting off, playing a gig, people you don't know, saying see ya, then going all the way to another city. It'd be like the money, the experiences, the people you'd meet over time and along the way, but I reckon it'd be exhausting.
I think it would, and I think me personally, and this isn't this isn't a good or a bad thing. This is just how I see it. But I can tell the difference between someone who, I need to start producing. Shit, let's do this.
Yeah.
And it's a very different thing to, I really want to make music. I don't care how fast it happens.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a hit, but I really want to enjoy and explore making music. That's the two very different things. It's very difficult. Pick someone who's really proactive and wants, I need to be at this and got to make a tune now and got to do this. And that's kind of like, you'll miss out on a lot of really cool stuff that you'll learn if you take your time and by the way, when I say take your time, I'm in my experience, like really since this time last year, was it this time last year or the year before? But
well, when you came on here, or
no, I'm on about when I actually started getting into music. So last November was when I released the first EP, and then I hadn't properly started making music like by probably March. So that's not many months. Yeah. And when you listen to these tracks,
the production's good.
No, seriously. Any producers that are out there, and you like the Green Georges and the E-Parties are really great guys, but they'll be able to hear that and say, yeah, that's because I sent
shout out you and
well, yeah, a legend. I was talking to him earlier actually.
He is an incredible producer for what he does. The music he makes, it's incredible.
Yeah, you know what I love about talking to him when I talk to him about music and music making, is just the confidence in his voice.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He's a good teacher.
I'm not saying he doesn't have confidence in his voice. It's just when he's all over it. It's really cool.
Yeah,
these kind of people like you have a bit more interaction with when you start making music. There's a guy out there, massive shout out to Jaden Tesconi, DJ named DJ, really great guy. We've kind of been sharing tracks with each other for ages. He is able to make music at a very fast speed that has a lot more layers and stuff going on that I can. He's a great producer. He's a great DJ. He's a promoter as well. Bailamos. I've probably produced that wrong.
Yeah, I always pronounce it wrong as well. I think it's
I can't say fancy Spanish words or whatever it is, or wherever that's from, in an accent, because I can't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've become friends. We were mates anyway, but it's a different thing when there's someone who you're like, what do you think about this? And I do know that he will give me his honest answer. Both of us have got different styles, so we know that, listen, this is what I'm going to say to you, but that's influenced by what I like. But if there are any things like with the sound quality or some of the EQ, some of the actual things that needed tweaking, we would both tell each other if we thought so, which is really cool. And it's nice to have them. Yeah, because some people
don't have an ear for it.
Some people were not helpful.
Yeah.
If you want to get into production, and you speak to the wrong person, and
you could get lost.
I spoke to a lot of people that said, "Listen, man, you're too old," and this is even when I was 30, right?
You shouldn't Have you ever heard of
But too old for what?
I'm
going to be doing a lot of things until I'm a very old age that people will probably say you shouldn't be doing that at your age, and I'll probably be doing it.
Music is just bilingual to everything. Like, music is just like, it's music. If you want to make music, you can make it at 80.
Knock yourself out, yeah.
Yeah, you can make it when you're 90 if you know how to do it. If you gave a granny a synthesizer in a nursing home, I guarantee she'll flick out a song eventually.
Well, try kind of merging that back into what we were saying about what advice would you give a DJ, and this is in my opinion not like advice, more kind of what I believe the reality to be. Is that for sure, if you want to be successful now, and you just say you've not got huge musical talent or whatever, like but you're a great entertainer, you're good at social media, the pie that you have, it has to be full. If you're going to be successful, you've got to fill that pie up. But a large proportion of it nowadays can be up to 50% at least can be social media. Musical taste and all this stuff could come way down the list. For other people out there, that for the majority of the population who are not like these insanely talented people. But there are DJs out there like my kind of hero Eddie Halliwell, and he is.
How do you spell his name?
His pie chart is, if he's got a pie chart there with he doesn't do hardly any social media stuff. He's that insanely talented that it's impossible for him not to be successful. Because he's so like people like James Zabiela or Zabiela, I've pronounced that wrong, but those kind of people, Jeff Mills, they don't need. They are so insanely talented that what they do is so unique. Whereas a lot of people out there, I'd say myself included, like it's, there's nothing that majorly special in there that other people can't do. But these, everyone can get to that level and just tweak things a bit. But some of these people out there are just insanely talented, and you need to remember that if you're shit at social media like I am, if you can get insanely good at those other areas, you don't need to do that, because then you become a bit of a legend and you become quite, they call it cult. You know what I mean? Some people have got a cult following there, which
it's a good thing. There are a few DJs
there is not
in
going
Perth
to be as much
that
money in
have
the
that.
bank, I would say,
But see, that's it, and that's where you got to like weigh it up. It's like wedding DJing, pub bar DJing, nightclub DJing, right? Because you can go do a 1 hour set, and doing a 1 hour set is great, and you get all that, in a way, you get all that publicity kind of, because you're up there, it's heaving, it's heavy, it's loud, people are screaming and loving it, the whole lot. But at a pub or a bar, you could be in the corner, or you could create a dance floor, depending on what venue it is and the whole lot. But then there's more money in that. But then in weddings, that's where the tip tier, where all the money is in a way. Unless you're doing Skrillex stuff or traveling or doing this or that. But it's like with nightclubs, in a way, in order to this guy here, Eddie Hall, right?
So you got weddings, and then you got doofs.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But then how do you get your name out in a way? Yeah. You have to go to doofs. You got to go play at cool events, and events where people our age or people that are similar age will go and party and actually enjoy themselves. You go play at a wedding, you're just going to get more weddings. Yeah. That's all that's going to happen.
People who really do care about music and have that gratitude for it, and the gratitude for actually getting a set and having the opportunity, especially if it's a good sound system like at the Duffs, it's not even a question of like, this is what I need to do to put the work in. This is just a desire of mine that I'm going to pursue because I want to listen to this music. Things might come later if you get good enough where it's like, I could do this professionally. Then you're going to have to put a bit more thought into these things, and you might not be able to be as, if it's your full-time job, you might not be able to be as picky. Yeah. Right? Unless you get to that next level where, you can, because you're like, that next level, when I say, I don't know who that is, I mean, it's people, the Carl Coxes out there, and these are people who are probably multi-millionaires. I'd imagine, I'm not sure. But
it's just
that from that to what I do is hobby level. Yeah. Hobby.
But that's it. But you enjoy it. You love doing it, and that's why you do it.
Yeah,
right?
But that's
like I find it's a bit of a gamble.
Even that, because I'm so passionate about it, it takes up a lot of that fucking mental space.
Yeah, it does,
without me even realising it.
Yeah. Well, that's like any project. Like if you start a project, you got to put work into the project to make it what you want out of the project. Yeah. Like for example, I want to buy a new motorbike. I got to save up and get a new motorbike and the whole lot, right? But the reason why is that with what I would like to do down south with my motorbike riding, it's like I want someone to come with me, so I have a second bike. Yeah. I want to get a trailer so I can take both.
I bet you want someone to come with you.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you just stay stationary and don't try and grow or improve or get something, I got told a long time ago, right, that say when Empire of the Sun first played one of their first gigs, right, after they'd released that first album, right, with We Are the People on it, they went around Australia and did a little mini tour. But I got told that the lead singer, right, he was using 2 MacBook Pros, right, with a 3.5 to RCA into the back of the DJM. So what he was doing was had iTunes on both laptops.
All the people know all these technical terms.
Yeah. Well, here, let me just pull it up. If you saw the cable, you'd be like, oh my God. So I got told that not Luke Steele, the other dude, he was literally playing on 2 MacBook Pros with iTunes open, with this thing plugged into the 2 MacBook Pros, So that way,
Do you when you say iTunes, do you mean
yeah. So he wanted no
jukeboxing?
Yeah, so no CDJs, no DJing. One song finishes on iTunes, so he
Right,
presses
he was
space on
still
the next
using
one.
fading in, right? Yeah. So yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like you can still fade in because you're using the mixing desk, but there's no CDJs or anything like that. You just had 2 MacBook Pros. So you press play and then fade it in.
Yeah.
And then, like, I mean, that's because he didn't know what he was doing. He obviously DJs now and the whole lot, but they were producers first, right?
Yeah.
You know, maybe Luke Steele was the one who knew how to DJ in the whole lot or whatever the go was. But apparently they were playing on stage at Capitol with 2 MacBook Pros, which is incredible.
Well, do you know what? If it sounded terrible, then shame on them.
Yeah.
If it was something they just cooked up.
But it's Empire of the Sun, though.
But I don't have the same... Oh, exactly. But I see...
Because that was the beginning, but look at them now, you know? This is like one of the biggest bands out of Australia.
I think it would have been probably at least 5 years ago now. Left Field came and played in Langley Park, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that would have been so good. Left Field.
It was really... I didn't actually get to see Left Field, the live performance, but I did get to see the DJ set. And a lot of people were complaining because it was the main guy from Left Field, and he was on a little podium thing, and he basically had a laptop, right?
Yeah.
That's all I could see.
Yeah.
But a lot of people were saying the music was amazing.
Yeah, so he was mixing though and doing stuff.
I've never heard Left Field play that stuff. It was a lot of really rolling, really cool techno sort of stuff, and he was definitely mixing. But I quite like it when I go to Duffs. There's one thing I like about the Duffs is everyone comes in with their own little setup. You know, a lot of the time we'll just be playing the CDJs, which are the main staple DJ equipment. But everyone has their own little thing. There's a lot of DJs who have their own little effects processors and their own little setups, and I think it adds to the individuality. I personally don't see the need to have to. If the main thing is you need to be comfortable delivering that music, otherwise, if you're not,
that's it in a way.
It all goes back to the audience.
I know, and that's where it's like it's such an interesting concept because it's like it literally comes down to like, you know, a drummer might be able to share the same drum kit, but a guitarist, I mean, they have a specific guitar.
Yep.
They probably could jump on a Gibson if they've been playing on on something else. I was going to say Stratocaster, but that is, I think, what it is. I don't know much about instruments, but you know,
it's a guitar, isn't it?
Yeah, guitar. But to jump on like a different guitar, you'd be a bit lost. But like with the band, you know, everyone is harmoniously together and the whole lot. It's such an incredible feat. But then with DJing, it is like, you know, I'm comfortable on my Tractor S4 Mark III, and I've actually gone and bought another one. I had to buy it from over east in some bedroom DJ. But the thing is that this, I will swear by it because it does everything I want it to do. I'm really good at using it, and that's why I'm getting booked.
I second that. You are.
Yeah. Well, thank you. But it's like I just love this piece of technology, this machine. But I want to go and get, you know, this thing is what, $1,400 new. But then people are just like, oh my God, look at the new Pioneer AZ. And sure, I'd love that. But who has $5.7 thousand laying around in their back pocket? You know? And then it's like what you said before, you know, with the synthesizers, like going out and buying a Ferrari. Technically, this is like going out and buying a Ferrari.
Yeah.
But this is also in every single nightclub and every pub and bar and whatever. Maybe it's a 2000. Maybe it's a Nexus. Maybe it's a 3000 if you're lucky. Maybe it's an RX2.
Yeah.
But they're still very, very expensive bits of kit. But this is the standard. This is what everyone gets upset about when it's like, oh, because you're not playing on Pioneer. Well, look, everyone can go and have Apples, and everyone can have Samsungs, right?
That kind of depends on.
Go get a Xiaomi; it's way better.
With the CDJ, like with the Pioneer thing, because Pioneer are the main industry kind of standard.
Yeah. And you can go to any venue, and you can kind of know how to use them, though.
Yeah.
But then the difference between like an XDJ and then having the DJM, and then having it like, you know, you rock up to a gig and they're only got 900s, but they're not Nexuses. And it's like, it's always a gamble, but you take your own equipment.
To people who don't know about DJ, they probably listen to us thinking, what the f***? But it basically, I think.
So different models and different years and different add-ons and how things work.
Yeah, you should definitely be wise about the decision you make on the platform that you're going to play on. if you know for a fact you're going to play, you just say, for example, Geisha Bar here in Perth. I want to play. It's my dream to play at Geisha Bar, which it was, by the way, very much so. But it wasn't the reason I got it like CDJs. But it was to me silly to think of anything else, because I want to play in clubs where I know these clubs all use this equipment. And you know, I kind of was already familiar with Pioneer because I had a Pioneer mixer back in Ireland. But I did when I moved, when I started DJing here, I hadn't. I had to learn how to use CDJs.
Yeah.
But it really doesn't take that long, because especially if you played vinyl, it's designed similar, but it's a lot easier than vinyl.
But the thing about it is that it's just there should be no like nastiness between controllers to
there
decks,
is. I don't think there is. The only nastiness there is just say if you have this big setup that isn't able to fit in a club of their standard, it becomes a pain in the arse.
Yeah, that's
and the only thing is, you need to be really good at what you do for the clubs to be.
Yeah, like let them use it.
All right.
Yeah.
We're not just going to let any old dude, because interrupt the flow and that kind of stuff or whatever. But if you're at that level where you're that highly priced, you can go and do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's it. That's why. Yeah, Carl Cox
obviously, I mean, my advice would be, if you want to be a club DJ playing in nightclubs for underground dance music, especially, my advice to you would be to have a think about Pioneer.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you have to.
In reality, that's
have a
not
really
because
consider it.
I love Pioneer. I just use them because they're their standard. But if there was a better one out there that was standard, I'd use that.
What do you think of Denon?
Never used them.
Never used them.
No.
But look at the technology as well. Like, you know, they pioneered the Pioneer DJ decks. Oh, I don't like this mouse so much. This mouse is.
Well, I
see, my uncle had 4 of those, 4 100Ss.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then we also had the 1000 Mark Ones as well.
Yep.
But that was all we had. We didn't have anything else. We didn't have any 2000s, 400s, like.
Well, the actual. I'd say the era of music that was most exciting for me personally was actually when people started to figure out the cool stuff that you could do with the CDJs as opposed to vinyl, right?
Yeah.
And there were always people like Eddie Halliwell who were playing vinyl and they were scratching and doing really cool stuff. But the functionality in terms of with digital music, even myself, like for that. Even though I've had Ableton for a really, really long time, which is a program that I make the music with, I hadn't broken out of the habit of taking old tracks, putting them into Ableton and beefing them up and putting little kind of more clicks on the front ends of these kick drums so that they sounded more digital.
Yeah.
So that's what I did for a long time.
Sounds like it's all right, though.
Oh yeah, it does. But you're able to do that with digital music.
Yeah.
A piece of vinyl is a piece of vinyl.
Exactly.
Once you put it into Ableton, then you can chop parts out of the track and you can make new parts. You can do your own little edits, right? And that's probably why it took me so long to actually start making music of my own rather than editing people's tracks. Was that I really liked the sound I was getting out of updating these older tracks and editing them. So it put me off.
Yeah. No, I can say that. I can understand that. But that's where it's like everyone finds their own way in a way. Some people just do remixes. They just nothing but remixes and edits.
I haven't done one of those. I wouldn't even know.
How do you even start?
Yeah.
That's it, because you hear someone else's track and
or
you're
if
like,
someone
I
wanted
can
to
improve
remix one
that.
of my tracks, I don't even know what the process would be. Like,
they strip it all back and take the vocals out and make a whole new song.
Yeah.
Basically.
They probably get like the project file or the stems or something.
Yeah. And then just completely customize it up. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
If you want to delve in, like if you're out there and you want to, I just got to produce music because I have to, which some people do. I get that. That's like, and a lot of people even get people to make their music for them. But that's that's what you want to do. I've got no beef with that. It's not for me.
That's it. I
would hate that. Knowing how, and especially. Look, if I've been doing this 10 years and it was my job and I still couldn't make music, and after 10 years of doing it, it's like, I've got to make a track before I die. I have to get someone to help me. Getting someone to help you is one thing, but getting someone to actually make a track for you, you're just missing out you are missing out on such.
Well,
awesome...
I mean, look at Fisher, right? And Fisher just ghost produced, and with him ghost producing, he's a surfer first.
Oh, so you mean that he makes tracks for other people?
No. He paid Sam Smith to make his music.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Just in case, anyway, if you didn't know. Fisher.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, what's his name? Sam Smith.
I don't know
Chris Lake. Sorry.
I don't know if I would have guessed that or not. There's certain people that I think.
So Fisher is literally just a
pretty
social media guy.
Yeah.
He is a surfer first, a professional surfer, and then paid Chris Lake, the primary producer behind many of Fisher's tracks.
Right.
Yeah. This guy doesn't make his own music, but because he was a popular surfer, he blew up. He became Fisher, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, it's Fisher," but it's not really him, right? But that's it. What are you chasing?
Yeah, but look, but whatever it is, it is, and it's that brand. Do you know what I mean? People buy it, whatever it is. It's like,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Though
people buy into it, and it's like.
I don't see any beef. I don't have any beefs. It's the same thing as the people saying you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't press that button, you're not allowed to press sync and all this sort of stuff. Me personally, I don't use sync.
Well, see,
I don't like it because I'm having fun.
I had this discussion with Gene as well.
But why? If someone wants to use it, go nuts.
So
who cares?
this is the way I look at it, right? And I'll be completely honest against people that hate on it and the whole lot. I understand that.
So people out there, sync is obviously if you don't DJ.
But like
it's a thing that
if you're playing drum and bass, it's like what 170 or 168 to 178. You got like literally like 10 BPM wiggle room in a way. If you're playing house or techno, you've got wiggle room where it's all the same BPM. But like when I go and play. For example, I'll go and play freestyle, and then right at the end, just before it goes back into the lyrics, right, I'll literally put a 2-bar loop on a hi-hat, and then from that, I'll bring in Smash Mouth. But Smash Mouth is 8 bars, it's 8 BPM faster, but then because I use the sync to bring Smash Mouth down, it's like I can do so much more intricacy shit to make it so it's easier. But then it's like multi-genres as well. Freestyle is a dance track. Smash Mouth is a Shrek song. But it gets the girls going, right? But it's the idea of like, me and Gene were talking about it. But if you are playing a single genre, you can use it if you want. I don't care. But then it's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's on the equipment. And it should be up to people just to make their own decision, make their own mind up. Me using sync makes so I can snap it to wherever I'm playing. So then that way I can easily do other things, effects and filters and all sorts of cool stuff that you've witnessed, right? Yeah. But in saying that, if someone comes up to me and tells me that sync is cheating, it's like, okay, I want you to do Jump Around by House of Pain into Sandstorm.
It's cheating.
Speed it up by 40 BPM.
Because of what you believe you need to do.
Because what you've been taught and it's against the rules.
For you to do that would seem like cheating.
Because someone decided to teach you that sync is cheating.
I'm not cheating in my version.
Yeah.
I'm just using the tools I have at my disposal.
Exactly. And if it's on the machine, it's on the machine.
Ah, look.
It's like, all right, let's get a tractor and not change the oil in it.
Like, I'm a tradesman. Like,
or the filter.
by trade, I'm a carpenter. I do DJing, obviously, but like, And when you're a tradesman for a certain amount of time, you kind of get over the need to criticize other people's work so much. If it's structurally shit and dangerous, that's different. But,
exactly.
But you get over the thing. I always know people who are kind of not immature, but like haven't quite experienced the trade long enough. When they're all they do is try to pick holes in other people's work, or the way they do things.
But it's not nice. It's not polite.
That says more about them. Like if your job is to go and pick defects, if that's your job, you get a pass because you're paid to do it.
But that's what safety
But
advice
if you're the person who's always going to go and pick holes in other people's work, or just all pick holes in stuff in general, that says more about that person.
That's why safety inspectors up north, I would not recommend to anyone to do fly in, fly out, right? Be a safety inspector. And then, the reason why is because you will sit alone, basically, at the lunchroom. Because you're doing that. You're literally Oi, where's your hard hat? Oi, where's your gloves? Show me your take 5. That looks dangerous. What are you doing? Instead of being like, yeah, no, you're all good. It's like being...
Yeah, but that's different if it's your job.
Yeah, it's your job. Yeah, you are
Like,
right. Yeah,
it ain't
you are right.
It isn't people's jobs
Yeah.
to be looking at the way someone else is DJing unless it is bad for your ears and
Yeah.
it sounds fucking absolutely terrible in everyone's opinion, like not just your musical opinion. Then really it's like fucking who cares? This is more about who cares? That's they're delivering their thing. Like, you know, you can get caught up with techno especially has a lot of these people involved in it, and I don't disagree with them entirely on their take on things, but it's like, for this to be techno, that needs to happen, and that needs to happen to satisfy me, and otherwise it's not techno, and everything about it's shit. Yeah. And it's like, ugh.
But that's like saying...
I was like, you don't really sound like you love it that much. Like, you just like... That doesn't sound very like positive. Like, just, who cares?
Yeah, that's it. Just be there for the experience.
Call that something else then, and just all right.
But that's it, and that's where it is. People just going, oh, I don't know. Like, it's hard to explain because genres are genres, music is music, and to anyone's ear, it could be anything. But then until you educate them, but then it's like the education is a correct education.
Have people ever thought about their opinions on music?
Well, that's it. How do you...
that's not the best. This is the best.
Yeah, that's what... But then, what... Do you know what's something really fascinating?
Not very much.
Just quickly, something really fascinating. So I went to Canberra recently, right? And so going to Canberra, everyone was super polite. Everyone was super nice. You know, you could drive on the road and people will actually pull over and like let you pass and stuff. Same thing in Tasmania. You know, and it's like... It's kind of, from what I've been told, it's like conservative because everyone actually has that community aspect. Everyone looks after each other. It's a big old government town, basically. But then it's like for here, you drive on the freeway and everyone's trying to get in front of you, right? And it's like self-entitlement. And so with self-entitlement, you know, you can see that through some aspects of the music industry. But it just depends on where you're looking, what you're doing, and where you're going, in a way, right?
I think
that's a bit deep.
It isn't at all. I just think it's.
We're gonna wrap this up soon as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the self-entitlement thing. It might seem like, I don't know. It's that person in their head. Like a lot of people, I find a lot of people who have got families and children that are into DJing still.
Yeah.
They've got other stuff that's kind of, I'm not going to say more important. Obviously, family is more important, but I'm not going to say like they put it on the back burner. But it's just like for some people out there, that where they need to go and where they want to go has a certain specific set of things that need to operate and happen, and they kind of live that. They kind of like, and it can come across as self-entitlement, but I think really what it is, rather than putting that label on it, is just someone's desire to get to that place, and that's their aura about it.
And they're willing to move people out of the way to be able to get there.
Yeah, everyone's got different brains. I have a lot of empathy. And
well, same thing as well.
Yeah, but I wouldn't change that. Yeah. But it means that, you know, there's certain things I don't feel comfortable doing that other people had a bit more, a very specific goal orientated thing. Yeah, they would know exactly what they got to do, and really.
That's it. That's the thing about it. It's like, in a way, like, the idea of, you know, if you've got a family and kids and you got to do everything you can to put food on the table and put money on the table and make sure that you can survive, and, you know, you want your kid to have the best schooling possible and all sorts of stuff. But then when you apply it to an industry where it is like mostly sole contractors that are single in a way, that's where it can swing to that point where it's like, you know, like, you've been on Perth Find a DJ, right? And you've seen how that operates. Like,
I don't even know what it is.
Oh, really? If you want a good laugh, in a way, not to say it's the whole thing's silly, but Perth Find a DJ, you find a lot of people fighting over gigs and that.
Oh, right.
And when you see the people fighting over gigs, it is kind of like they're undercutting, or they're trying to get the best deal, or they're trying to, this is my product, buy from me. Look at me. But it's like the empathy, it's the humble thing. If you just go and DM them instead of commenting, and then one post looking for a DJ for a 30th birthday, 6 to midnight, blah, blah, blah. And instead of being 30 comments, if people were just like a little bit more keyed on and be like, I'm just going to message them directly and be like,
But
hey,
it's all for engagement.
It's all engagement. It's all not so much me, but it's like my business, my business.
I realise myself when I'm posting stuff, I'm just like,
yeah.
Fuck.
Instead of just letting it come to you.
Picture of my face looking like, and it's like, this is my music. Buy it now. It's out. Buy it. Will you buy it?
That's
and
it.
it's
And
like
just jamming the advertising down people's throats. And
it is a bit much sometimes.
Yeah, and
but
it's like it comes down to just do good things and good things happen to you, right?
Yeah.
And then you'd want to hope so, but at the same time, alongside that, it is also like do good things and just be a part of the ride, be a part of the wave. You know, if you want to be a musician, look at the pathway of how to become a musician.
Yep.
If you want to be a DJ, look at the pathway of how to be a DJ. But look at it in a bright light. Don't look at it in a dark light. Don't go and look at it and go, oh, well, so-and-so that this is bad and that's bad and this is bad. It's like, try and look at it just like, I want to do this. I want to make my own journey. But I want to bring people together and play music and have fun and make people smile. You know, like, it's so stupid. Like, I always say it because I do play it. But, you know, playing ABBA on the weekends, it's like to see some girls just smile, get up and have a dance to Super Trooper or whatever it is, right? It could be the cheesiest Bieber song, whatever. That makes my night. That makes my night because it made someone else's night. And that's what should matter, you know? And also, you know, as long as you feel fulfilled in a way, but like playing big sets or doing this or doing that or producing or anything, you should always come back to just being like, not a people pleaser, but the right reason why you're doing it. But then also frame of mind as well, right? We can just keep going down this rabbit hole.
Yeah.
You gotta have the right frame of mind. It's not all Mercedes and BMWs.
I do think that one important thing that I do see a lot of people get kind of pissed off about, and I will say myself as well at certain stages, but, you know, I've had to learn this the hard way a lot of times, but if you don't accept a situation, you will stay stuck.
Yeah.
And that is very much the case for...
I agree.
Just say you're a guy or a girl out there with a hugely deep passion for music making, DJing, whatever it is. It doesn't even need to be DJing, whatever. Let's just say anything out there. But if you look at the other people around you that are doing something a little bit different to you, maybe they're not as much a purist, but maybe they're getting further. If you cannot accept that and you start to get bitter about that whole thing... You will stay stuck. You will not be able to make music. You'll not be able to have it in your soul because you're too busy. All these Instagram DJs or this or these Instagram people, and I've caught myself doing it. I've actually say, was that an Instagram DJ? Whatever. But like, you have to just be really like. Personally, I am 100% content sitting in my studio making music. If nobody listened to it, but I really digged it, seriously, gratitude in my heart for that. Yeah. That's all I care about. But other people are different. That I don't care about. But if someone's got a goal they've got to do and they've got to get this, they've got a very different, specific set of things they need to do. Because success has these disciplines. Yeah.
Well, that's it. Success comes with order, basically. Yeah. Unless you have order, you can't really be successful. Because how do you reach success if you don't have like a pathway or like rules and guidance?
Again, you can be so insanely good at what you do. You can be the 1%, or you can be everybody else who needs to have. You need exposure. Yeah. If you're that insanely talented, it won't be long before you get exposure because you're that much of an anomaly. But
that comes with it though as well. It's like,
and there's a lot of people listening out there who are. I know in the Perth scene some insanely talented producers, dancers that I've seen at these performances, all this stuff. There's a lot of people putting in a lot of work, like to stuff in this, even in just this small city. Like it's very cool. The passion involved in it. Yeah. For whatever like, there's a lot going into it.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I really appreciate it, and I notice the passionate people, but I dig everybody. But it's just when you see people who are just like fucking loving it and really trying to get their whatever it is they're doing, their message across. It's great.
Like big shout out to have you ever met Clayton before? Clayton Lynn?
Oh yes.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So Clayton has been voted as, I just want to pull him up. So he got voted on Perth Drum and Bass page as the #1 attendee for every event.
Yeah.
Yeah. So big shout out to Clayton because I love chatting to this guy. He's a great 100%,
dude. Yeah.
But literally with Clayton, he's just
That's solid.
yeah. This guy attends every event, every gig, and supports everyone.
Yes.
And that's the right attitude. That's where it's like so spot on.
Oh,
Let me
he's
let me
obviously
pull
got a
him
very
up.
big heart.
That's it. He's one of the nicest guys
We
I've
can
ever
all
met.
learn a lot from Clayton.
Yeah, and he just makes the effort to support everyone, to just go there and be a part of it and hang out. And like, it's funny because it's gone to the point now that it's like as soon as he's out, he knows everyone, right?
Yeah.
Almost knows everyone. Because he's a really fun socialite to be around. But that's what you got to do sometimes. You know, whoa, what's going on there? You know,
Yeah.
he's
Well, that's his thing.
yeah, that's his thing.
This
Yeah.
dude doesn't have even an agenda behind this. He's just a cool dude who likes
He is
to
a
go and
DJ,
support
yeah,
people.
but he doesn't put it first. I don't think he puts
No,
it
I've
first.
never seen him like massively promoting that stuff. I've seen he promotes
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah, that's it. But what the awesome thing is as well, right, is that because I've had him on the podcast, he's actually got music signed to, I think it was Armin van Helden's label.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like he's got music
That's amazing.
signed in the States, and
That's
he just
huge.
doesn't
Big shout out to you,
showcase it.
Clayton Lynn.
Yeah, he just doesn't talk about it. He just does his thing. He just hangs out and has a good time, and you know, he's told me a couple of times about all the music he's making and all the cool things he's doing, but just very cool person that supports the scene and is just a part of it. I gotta say though, we were talking about this a while ago, but there is no scene, is there? No, one last thing. I want to eat a cookie first.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, this
scene.
is my opinion.
Yeah,
about the.
We'll go for another half hour. I just want to order some.
Is there anyone still listening?
Yeah. So we got two people. We got two on Facebook, one on YouTube, and one on Twitch. So we got five
got a
people.
few.
Thank you for watching,
Thanks
everyone.
you very much for listening to our waffle. But
I have a feeling that my the social media algorithm has stuffed up, and that's why. Because usually with Facebook we get a bit more.
Yeah.
And I mean, the last time you came on, we had like 25 people at one stage.
Yeah.
So it's just the algorithm
Yeah,
thing.
that's
but
right.
but it will happen. You know, more people watch later on. But keep going. Yeah.
No.
So,
Well, I think that
So the scene. What is the scene? How do we define the music scene in Perth?
I think that I don't really say it. I just notice but I think what it is, it's the visual representation. When you talk about the scene, nobody's ever talking about the great things about it. People, when they say, "Oh, the scene," the scene. It really, what I believe the scene is actually quite a small number of people who fuck it up so much for everybody this is what we visualize as the scene. And honestly, it doesn't take many people. And I don't say this in a negative way. I actually say this in a positive way, to look at it in that way, because when you're out there and you're thinking, this is very cutthroat or this or that, and it doesn't matter what industry you're in, you're going to have a thing like a number of people you might have to connect with that all want the same thing, but you can be friends with them and you can be doing all this sort of stuff. But it doesn't take, what I'm trying to say is, in any organization or any population of people, it doesn't take that many people with the wrong intent, or like harmful intentions, to actually make a very big difference. Like peddling things around and little backstabbing, talking, that kind of stuff. You get that in any playground, in any situation. But
Yep, I agree. Yes, yep.
I think I think the people that talk to me about the scene the most are the people that are probably the ones who are contributing the
Pizza
most
is on its
negatively.
way.
The most negatively. So to be honest, and when you talk about the politics. The politics for certain people doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what you're talking about. I just get in, do my thing, and I don't.
That's
if
it.
I'm asked to play a gig, I'll play a gig. I don't need to be scrambling and seeing who's playing for who. How comes you got that set time? I need to.
Yeah,
get that
I
set
do
time.
find that very interesting sometimes.
So
when,
some people don't have that. So there
Yeah.
is, to them, there is no. If you're someone who's
'Cause,
like,
like, when
the
someone-
politics.
someone will make mention and be like, why are they playing twice on the same lineup? Like, why are they playing on two different stages at that one festival? And it's like, I just look at it as like, maybe because they're really good and they needed a DJ to fill in. They didn't have someone to fill in. Someone pulled out. I don't
Yeah,
know.
a lot of people wouldn't bat their eyelid about any of that.
Yeah.
It's like, why
Yeah.
should they? It's like,
Yeah, it's like, okay. Well, it's
should-
like,
what,
why are
should
they
you-
playing on that
should
same...
you be there?
Yeah,
Should be you.
yeah.
I guess.
yeah, it
I
shouldn't
guess.
be, no.
Who else should it be?
I've never played at one of those Fruit Factory festivals ever. And I don't know if I ever want to. Like, I wouldn't mind it. But
Ice Cream Factory.
Yeah, Ice Cream Factory, Pineapple Club,
Oh, look,
all that crap.
If I was allowed to play what I wanted to play, I'd love it.
Yeah. If you're allowed to play what you want to play.
Yeah.
I've heard rumors. Well, yeah, so I agree with you. Just quickly. So I agree with you. Yeah. The scene is what people imagine it to be.
What it is to them. What
Yeah,
it is they're faced with, right?
Yes. Yeah.
It's just your representation of how this socially works, right? But it's not like that for everybody, because I know a lot of people out there that are so oblivious to anything that's going on other than what they're doing themselves. They don't notice that stuff.
Yeah.
Some people live in it. Some people, if you're talking to, if there's somebody you're talking to that's always talking about the politics at work or the politics in the scene, they probably are the politics, right? This is the reality of it. And I've noticed this more from having physically needing to withdraw from that to make music, but that wasn't a thing I was like, I need to do this. It just happened naturally because my time was being spent there. And if you're not posting and making yourself kind of current, you won't be current anymore. And do you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like,
isn't it so bonkers, right? So I went and DJ'd for 9 hours on Sunday. I played at the Brisbane Hotel.
I'd well believe it.
Yeah, I played Brisbane Hotel. 12:45 I started till 9:45 p.m. Right.
Yeah.
But in doing that, I didn't put it on Facebook. I'm gonna upload the mix. I made a really good mix out of it.
Yeah, nice.
But I'm not gonna advertise. Look at me, I did a 9-hour set. So I don't want to.
Why not?
I don't really want to. But,
but
I feel like I should.
Well, that's great because if you don't want to, you can't trump that.
But then societal pressure of being like, did I even play there though?
Me looking at it, I wouldn't be. I'd be thinking, why not?
Yeah,
especially
that's what I mean,
if it's something
right?
that you're proud of.
Yeah.
I've got loads of videos out there that.
Well, it's for me. It's like it's not.
Want the public
I'm just
to see,
like I just had fun. It's not something I'm really proud of in a way. I'm glad I got through it. I was extremely dehydrated. It was a fun gig.
Yeah.
But most gigs are 6 hours for me. So then maybe like the longest set I've ever done was 11 and a half.
Yeah.
But to do something like 9 hours, yeah, that was fun. But it's just a pub gig. It's just Brisbane Hotel. It's still fun. It's still enjoyable. But
do the penalty rates kick in after 8 hours?
No, I wish they did.
that's a long shift, man.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, though, right?
That's a lot of tunes, mate.
Yeah, it's a lot of tunes, and I only played 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s.
No way.
Yeah,
you didn't repeat any tracks?
No, I didn't repeat a single. I never repeat a single track.
Wow.
You don't know that?
I'm just like,
I did 11 and a half
over
hours
that span
and
of time. You know, if all them people had left the club and new people had came in, I thought you might be able to get away with it.
No, so I was talking about this last week though as well. But yeah, I've never.
That's a long time. There'd be some crowds could come and you have a totally different crowd by the end of the evening.
Yeah, well that's it as well. Yeah, it's, you know, that's. I don't repeat tracks. I never repeat songs unless I've actually realized like, oh shit, I play like because I've got a check next to them, but I do load some up and try and load them up and go, oh no, I'm not going to play that yet. But, you know, I don't repeat any song. Yeah. But in doing that, you know, it's like when I first started DJing, I did find it was something to boast about. But now I kind of realize it's like, it's not even to boast about, but it's like, hey, look at me, I'm doing this. I'm playing long sets. But now I just don't talk about it because it's like, what's the point? I find like, you know, the idea of staying within your lane.
It's your job, isn't it?
Yeah, it's my job. But it's like, it's a job. But it's my favourite thing in the entire world.
Yeah.
But, you know, the idea of staying in your lane, but it's not staying in your lane because there are no lanes. But social media, you know, the implications of going, hey, I'm going to post about this.
What implications? Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, to like really to express yourself and be like, look at me, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. But it's like, it's just another normal day in a way.
Oh, look, I think young people who maybe grew up with social media might be able to divorce themselves from that weirdness about it. And I think to be a successful influencer, which is all based around content, if you can't get over that posting, you're not going to be successful. So,
well, see, that's it. It's like with this, like I just do this because it's enjoyable. It's fun. It's something to do. Like I get to meet so many cool people in the whole lot.
Mate, and by the way, thank you so much for this experience again.
Yeah, it's all good. I love having you on.
It's been great.
Even if it's just you and me.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, doing something like this, we're up to episode 275, 276 or whatever it is. But in saying that, it's like, I'm not trying to reach fame out of it. I didn't expect it to, like, do what it did to the nightlife a little bit. Like, I went to...
But if you did want to reach fame out of it, that's okay too.
Yeah, it's okay. That's it. It just comes along with it or whatever. It's just a bit of fun. But, like, I went to the record bar the other day for the Techno gig, and I bumped into 9 people I knew.
Yeah.
And 7 of those people I interviewed. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was like for that to happen.
Yeah.
And I was with my mate Angie. So with Angie, it's like, oh, shit, sorry. Oh, shit. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
how you doing? It just went from one person to the other to the other. And by the end of it, I was like, I got to get out of here.
Yes,
Which
and
isn't
the
a
good
bad
thing is that you know these people reasonably well. You get the gist of them because
Yeah.
you chatted to them for quite a while.
But it's all just for fun, shits
Yeah.
and gigs, and it's just like, oh, I can actually go out and, you know, if I bumped into you out and about, I would be like, oh my god, what are you up to? How's things?
Have you
It's
ever
like,
had an interview? You don't need to name who it was or anything. Have you ever had an interview in here
go bad?
that was just so awkward?
Oh yeah, yeah. It wasn't my.
How is that possible with your skills of talkery?
Okay, so I won't name names, but I'll tell you exactly how it happened, right? So we were basically at the old studio, and it was an episode where a guy was promoting a drum and bass event, right? And what ended up happening was, I can't go into too many details.
No,
but it
because I
makes
was
it
going to say
juicy.
it's not going to be long before they know who it is.
No, like it's just
But
really.
what I want to know about, what was the awkwardness?
The awkwardness was that he had run these drum and bass events, and he was like, oh, my best mate's a photographer, my other best mate, he's been helping me do this, he's a videographer, and they helped me do the social media, and things are working out, and blah, 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 blah. And then on the comments, someone commented and being like, C word, you owe me money. I'm not doing this for free. And it was the photographer, and it was the videographer also backing him up. Then they started trolling the comment section. So with that happening, it's like the camera guy, my old camera guy, Damo, read out the comments. So he's sitting there, and his whole, you can see on his face, his soul's getting crushed, basically.
Yeah.
Because it's like his mates that he could trust and everything was all good. And they've just blasted him live on camera to the world, in a way, I guess, or Perth, in a way.
Yeah.
And just openly said that you owe us money. And you could, when you watch the episode, you see his face just drop and get super...
these people put that in the chat box.
In the chat.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so they were like, dude, you owe us 2.5... Like,
That's a vibe, that is a
word.
vibe killer.
Yeah, vibe killer. Yeah, so then with that, I looked at the TV screen, then looked at him, and he's just like seen a ghost or something.
No.
Because his mates have just turned their backs on him.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah, so that was probably the most awkward episode.
Wow, that would be awkward.
It was pretty funny though. He still stuck around the scene, but I told him he had to change his DJ name because he did the wrong things in the scene and thought it was the right reason. I'll tell you more about it after.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, so we are running out of time. We've been going on for an hour and 40 minutes.
Wow.
So it's
Not
not
too
bad. Yeah, it's not too bad. But yeah, we should wrap it up. We should talk more off camera.
100%. Mate, it's been great to see you, man. Thank you so much for having us on.
No, thank you,
Massive
Aaron.
shout out to all the crews that we talked about. Techno, God Said No.
Let me pull them up
Blazer
again.
Swan, Blossom. All the people doing the things. Thanks very much for keeping the scene alive, and mate, thanks very much for having us on here and chatting, talking shop.
Thank you so much for coming on, Aaron. And like what he just said, don't forget, so we got Space 92 coming up February 28th. Tickets are on sale. I don't know how much they are, but they are in their final release, which is even better.
Yes.
So get onto it because it's going to be good. Space 92 is a huge act. I saw a video Katrina made the other day, and here we go. Just watch this.
Iconic, the biggest names in the world, and time we're cooking something really special for you.
That's right. We love Techno.
Oh, Emma as well, the other girl, she's playing.
And a global techno artist.
Representing,
Spain 92. It's not just Spain 92. We have a
Hi, this is Kalai from
Oh.
We love that
Techno
crew.
and teaming up, bringing a global techno artist, Space 92. It's not just Spain 92. We have a massive techno lineup for that night. We will have 2 live sets. One from Nick Rivers, originally from Italy, coming from Sydney, and another one from GBTS, French artist living in Perth.
Space 92 is one of my favorite DJs, and we'll be hosting him right here on this stage. By the way, did you know that Space 92 is the top-selling big-time techno artist of all time? Also, taking over from Space 92 will be amazing
J-Dream!
Stage on the night with German DJ Nias, followed by a local DJ and producer, Dale Check. And let's take a second to speak about the venue. Metro is built for nights like this. Massive, punchy sound, multiple levels, there is not one bad spot in the venue, and of course the iconic top bar.
Tickets are selling out so quick, so don't miss out. We are currently in second release, which will be closing soon. Also, don't forget our special options, VIP, which give you access to the bar after, $50 drink card, and the unique moment to meet Space 92.
There you go. So definitely hit that up because he's coming here and it's going to be an epic night.
Yep.
But yeah, thank you, Aaron.
Legend.
Yeah. And we will see you. I'm going to try and start doing it on Thursdays again. It's just easier because I drive from Busselton to Perth and then literally do a podcast straight into it. Extremely tired. I haven't eaten. That's why I'm eating my cookies. But this is the way to do it. And
Pizza, I think, after this.
yeah, that's it. Pizza's on its way. But we will see you next week with Alex Cozza. So Cozza's coming on, and he's been playing at Karratha.
Nice.
So get to dive in what it's like with the nightlife up in Karratha, what happens up there, how party it is, and also playing in Geraldton and all the other gigs.
I'm going
So
to tune into that.
yeah, regional stuff. It should be good. So we'll see you guys next week, all right?